Hello, hello, and welcome to my second round of the Dominion Online 2021 tournament. I didn't get a chance to record my first match, unfortunately. But here we are with SSLY, SSLY, who knows? And I don't know, I guess I'm ready. I think the settings are okay. This is the round of 128, I think. Thought about making like a recap video of the match I didn't record. I don't know if people are interested in that. You can tell me. It wouldn't be too terribly long, but I would just talk about the kingdoms and some of the stupid stuff I did. All right, so this board, I have the 5-2, which is probably fine. I don't know that it's especially fantastic. I don't know that there's a mint opening that really gets you a whole lot. I mean, you could try mint embargo, though if you don't draw the, it's kind of crappy if you don't draw the embargo with 2 coppers at some point. I mean, the embargo for buying silver isn't super good. Then you're not making headway. Now, if you can embargo and buy dismantle, that's a bit different. That looks a lot more exciting as far as ramping up to something. But beyond that, the 2s are okay. So even if you go 4-2, it's not that sad of an opening or anything like that. Yeah, I mean, there's enough draw here that you kind of have to go for dominate stuff. Certainly Workers Village Black Cat is enough to draw you enough golds to buy dominate. And the cursing can be a real thing here, certainly. I'm really thinking about this mint. Like I said, if you do draw the embargo with 2 coppers, it looks very good. The odds of that happening are kind of not that great. We do have Necro as well. Probably doesn't matter hugely, but so it could maybe make you feel like you could just open a Black Cat here. I didn't crunch the numbers except roughly, but it didn't feel, I mean, if you bottom deck any of copper, you're gonna have 7 cards in your deck. I mean, you probably hit it within a turn, or I mean, you can miss it for several turns, so honestly. So, I mean, you'd probably swap the embargo up for a silver if you drew it with any coppers at all, but embargo doesn't feel especially impactful. I mean, you would probably just take I mean, even if they embargoed, like, you would just use alter to gain whatever they embargoed. I don't think they're gonna buy 2 of them. I mean, I could buy an embargo just as a way of making it a little more likely that I buy alter. If you draw Necro plus Priest plus embargo, then you are gonna get to alter for sure. I don't know that I have a good thing to embargo if I do hit it, but I could also just shuffle in the priest into this hand. It's another possibility. Into this next hand. Probably the buys are worth buying. This is pretty fine. Really, at this point, there's not really asymmetry between the decks to exploit. So I don't know that there's, unless there's just like some particular style of the game I don't want to play. I got mint here. There's some kind of cute things where if you did have a workers village in your deck, play a priest and buy a mint, and you'd still have, you know, you'd produce tons of money. Nice for SSLY to get the priest in this turn. Though not a super great hand for it. I guess they didn't have any shelters, or they may have had necro, but I can mint here, though it's not a super exciting mint. I can, of course, go like Silver Scouting Party, though that'll make the priest miss the next shuffle. Which isn't a super huge shuffle, but boom, 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 boom. Can just embargo the curses. I gotta embargo something. Again, I don't know really what my disadvantage or what if there's a exploitable asymmetry at this point. Or much of one. Bit awkward. I don't know how you get to 6. Besides maybe a mint thing. Which could do. Obviously, you can just draw your priest and your silver if you're SSLY. Like if you get this hand with a workers village on top of it, you can get an altar out of a mint, which is pretty sweet. And maybe is worth playing too. I mean, you want the workers villages anyway, so. I guess you can also make your dominate money just strictly priest, though. How much better that is than some golds, I don't really know. They just hit it the old-fashioned way. I'm gonna hit it the cool way. Because I'm cool. Yeah, I feel okay about whatever is happening here at the moment. Do 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 do. Boom. It's been done. Interesting. Whose hovel is in the trash? My hovel is in the trash. Good to know. I'm trying to think if I get a... I'm trying to chart the path here, you know. You know how it is. I may want... I'm trying to think if I want to dismantle. I know I want a lot of black cats. That's for sure. I can go for overdraw before I add the dismantle. I just need to keep the overgrown estate. And I guess, you know, copper. It would be cool if I had a two black cats on top of my deck right now. That would be cool. I think it would be cool. Oh, yes. Okay. All right. So we can... If it climbs, so dismantle is so generous, it works with shelters. There's another workers village down in here. Assume they'll buy a black cat. You need those black cats. Wait, maybe this is fine. It's a workers' village. This isn't as much draw. No. This doesn't work. Well, it doesn't. I mean, it works. It just doesn't do what I want. If we had not bottom deck a workers' village, maybe it would have worked. I'm not exactly sure. We need alms. Because, like, this is not... I can't decide if I want to lose the mint is the thing. Kind of don't. Yeah, this is a little awkward. I mean, I can rebuy the copper. And I can like buy an estate or something if I need to get something that dismantles. There's some sequence here where I can do something exciting. I can try to get... I mean, I can get the rest of the black cats. Which is not nothing. So I won't have a... I'll be a little bit over terminal. I don't think I can draw a coin. I mean, if I could get 2 of the black cats and draw a coin, that would be something. Just a little unfortunate of bottom deck workers village here as far as options. I mean, I can... If I just get 2 things, I can play. I can get coin, bat, black cat. I mean, I can't really leave. I mean, leaving the black cats is a little scary. Maybe I just get them all. The other option here is go like workers village. I mean, I can just take a even split of the black cats. Not too crazy. Or I can take them all. It is the only draw on the board. This could go real bad. Well, okay. It's probably gonna go pretty good. They still have 4 coppers. They still have 5 coppers. That's a lot of coppers. Just saying. I could even dismantle one of the black cats, I suppose. Or the necro. I mean, I guess we can do the necro in the future. Maybe I should have bought another copper. We can also blow up the mint. I mean, there are options. Of course. My deck is kind of cool. It's the word of the day. Probably should blow up the mint. Maybe even we can reacquire a mint if we're like, oh, we gotta have this mint. This mint is the thing for me. If we get $4 would be kind of nice. I wouldn't complain about having it anyway. It does still seem kind of like we should get a coin, but I'd sort of rather gain and play it. There are some bad draws that are possible. We got to figure out some point something we can try. It could be in the necro. This may be too many coppers. Good opening hand again, though. Obviously, you'd like to have a coin just for the peace of mind, even if maybe it's not the most exciting thing in the world. So they're probably getting some stuff done here, I would guess. It'd be pretty funny if we get to the point where they like can't play black cats to you, like dominating or something, because it means you pile out instantly. I mean, I'm gonna have a lot of buys, so they can play some number of them, but not all of them safely. Be a bit funny. I certainly don't mind having the buys and just have some better 3-pile threat. They probably, no, they're out of draw. They don't have gain and play yet. Trash a card from your hand. So if you play 2 priests and trash 2 cards, you get $6, but across four cards, just a lot. Do they still have their hovel? They do still have their hovel. They're quite draw limited though. We both are, but this would be an exciting mint. You get a bunch of money. You can mint and then go workers village dismantle or something like that. This is quite a turn. I mean, I don't know if it's back in the game turn, but it's quite good. You'd end up with $11 after the mint buy. I did that math wrong. There's a silver. Oh, they played this. They hadn't played the silver. That's not my fault. That's not my fault. They're just going straight for the golds. That's also pretty reasonable. Okay. Well, I'm not killing a necro this turn. It's like you probably just need to get a coin. Maybe up to maybe it was just too fancy. I don't know. Was there a point where I could just buy a gold and then I would use the mint to make it? I mean, not at the expense of doing some other stuff probably, but well, we can get a coin of the realm. And draw it, which is pretty okay. I guess fine. We did split the workers' villages in the end, so we had 5 more cards of draw. We could do dismantle copper. I guess they're maybe have. Well, they can probably pile out coins, but I don't know how they score enough. They're not going to pile out coins while dominating. I mean, they can say, oh, maybe he just has no black cats. That's a possibility. Awkward to score here for sure. I mean, I guess if they dominate once, then then we're off to the races. If I give them 6 curses and they dominate, I'll have to check the buys, I guess, but I don't know if they can this time. They get up to 9 golds or $9 in gold. They have a coin. I'm not sure they have the stuff to trash with priest or altar to get to 15 this turn or 14. So they're not far, so I could be wrong. Oh, they trash their coin as well. From the mint. I missed that, so my mint math was wrong even before they played the silver. There was a coin out that got trashed as well. My dismantled dream, it felt so close. It's funny, there was like a turn where if the sequence goes differently, I think it just works that turn. I could be wrong. I may have been short actions. But, and of course I could have just taken it at some point over like Workers Village, but not sure that was ever the play. Unless you can, use it that turn. But that's the way it goes. I guess I could have skipped altar when I did the mint thing. I could have just bought a gold. It's not totally clear the altar trashes have been like that exciting, right? Just start minting golds. Maybe that's the line. It's got to be better than what I've done here, but just start minting that 1 gold and you'd have 4 in a couple turns or in a few turns. I'd have 4 by now. And then probably, and then you this is interesting. I give them 2. I mean, what else am I gonna? I'm gonna play him. It gives me extra draw here. I'd have played more too, but that's fine. It's like a probing, but if they're not winning this turn, then the next turn gets a little dicey. They don't even have the actions to play the mint. So they haven't upped their economy at all. This is not super great for them. IMO. I mean, they could draw just a super duddy hand. I know I stopped clicking. I could be still clicking. I just started thinking about other stuff. Well, we might as well have the black cats triggered. So the priest can produce 6. We can get up to 12-ish. Maybe that like 13. I mean, the other option is getting more coins down. The priest does 2, and then we can get 6. We can have 2 golds. We get 12, and then there'd be another copper. Should have the draw for all that, though. I'd have to use up the coin of the realm, I think. Interesting. Then what do we buy? Nothing. I guess you could try and buy them. Well, I'm not gonna have that. That won't work. I was thinking buying mints as a way of adding coin, but you could do that on a turn with several coins of the realm in play. I guess you could. I don't even know if I'll have the actions and draw to get all this stuff, to be honest. I've got 3 cards. Yeah. I can't even draw all that. I could just stop. I mean, I guess I can still gain the mint now. I kind of would like to get another coin, but I don't know how easy that is. There's a black cat on top, which is probably as good as we can do here. Maybe should be a priest rather than a mint. Will we have the stuff to trash? We might. Well, there's just 1 copper. I mean, it depends on if we buy coppers, I suppose. We have 2 golds. We can get to a 3rd gold. We have a copper. We could dismantle for another gold and a priest. Well, they found workers' villages, which is unfortunate. Which means I don't think I can play the black cat. They got 7 gains. They still have draw. So they can draw gold. This game is already taken. When did we start? I guess just 45. Gonna be a long match. Probably playing slower than him overall, for sure, I think. Things are a bit puzzly, but they're not as puzzly as my play speed would suggest. So if they... I can curse them once. If they alter for... I mean, depending on what they do here, I may not be able to curse them at all. Though we'll actually know after the altar plays, so that's something. I don't know if he can... Don't know that they can dominate. My guess is no, but maybe. If they alter for like green, I think that's the worst thing they can do, because then I can do 2 curses. Or, no, I guess I can only do 1 curse in that case. But I can do a curse, which gives me a little extra draw this upcoming turn. They like alter for duchy or something. $15 and it's... Funny thing is if they get to a spot where they can't, they can't black cat. The hope is actually just that the game goes long enough. I don't know. I don't know that this is gonna... I don't know if this will work out for me, to be honest. Lowering by 1 is probably fine. If I play 2, they just win. They can just buy out the curses. That's not gonna lower enough. But it's gonna be a similar... I mean, I'm gonna have... essentially the same issue. Or I'm gonna have a worse issue. I don't have any points. So even when I dominate, if I dominate, even if I don't, I mean, I think I can this tournament. Even if I dominate, I'm not actually sure if I can or not, but the I don't know that I can make up the curses. I can give a little more now, though. I mean, the hope is just that their next turn is deady. That's pretty much my out. Like, that they don't have black cats in the opening hand, that kind of stuff. Because I don't believe I can produce enough money here to make this, to score enough against cursing. Maybe even worse. May have even a worse situation on our hands. Okay, that didn't quite happen. Okay. Priest makes this counting so annoying. I mean, you sort of count it as a win if they are afraid to play their black cats. So the question is, do you like probe? I mean, another option is to try and do a duchy pile out. Which may be possible. And that just seems, well, that doesn't score quite enough. Unfortunately, there are a lot of options here. Like, what does double priest into no. What does double priest generate as far as cash? Like double priest mint. may give you enough to like double dominate, which is pretty threatening. Though you're gonna have to trash some black cats to get there. I mean, you can try and make as much money as possible, I guess, this term, and try and like triple dominate or something, which should be just like way more than enough. I don't know if you can triple dominate. Let's see how much money we can make if we get 2 priests. Or even say 3 priests. So we dismantle a mint for a priest. We get another gold and a priest. And then there's also, of course, an action issue. But we could get like double dominate seems pretty good. If we can get there. You blow up all the golds, you get like, I guess the other question is whether you mint a gold. I don't know if we have the draw. 2 black cats. 1, 2, 3, 6. And then something left. Workers village left. Okay. I guess we can play draw up. We'll be able to draw at least 2 cards when we do this. So we can play 5 terminals. Threat that prevents them from wanting to play black cats is very good as well. Dismantle mint, priest gold. Priest and altar, priest of black cat. That gives us, so we play the priest first, that gives 2. We play dismantle, another 2. Draw up the priest and the gold. Priest the altar, that'll give us 4 more, we're up to 8. Then we'd have 5 treasures in plays, 20. We'd have to buy a mint. But we'd get back a bunch of money from, we'd get money from playing the golds and stuff. So the mint, we'd get like 10-ish. There, 18, 20. We get over to 38, 33. We'd have 33. Pretty good. We'd still have 5 black cats. We can also save the coin, I think. No, we need to play 4. Which means we can, okay. They're really limited on how many Or wait, I did this slightly wrong. I may not need to keep the copper either. This priest will give me 8. Then I'd get up to 17 plus 16. 33 minus 5 is still 28. I think this is a good 8. We would trash 4 times 4 is 16. This would go, so we go to 8 plus 9 is 17. We'd go down by 5 to 12. So we can trash the copper even and keep the black cats, I think. They get a little extra draw if they can draw around to the black cat. A great opening hand for me. Okay. I'm glad I started thinking along different lines there at the end, because I was thinking along stupid lines, and I think I found a better one with the double, with all the priest money stuff. I get to keep all the black cats. I mean, it seemed pretty nice. Which maybe that was just how it would always work out. Panicked or nothing. Okay. Now we have just, you just buy stockpiles and mountain banks and then eventually gold, so you just can't do anything here. It's pretty funny. I guess you can, if you're like, oh, I gotta use these events, you could open the mountain bank, or you can try and open a squire to advance it and get a couple mountain banks out of it or whatever, which isn't unreasonable. It's just like also not that good. I mean, it's not like clearly better to me than just getting stockpiles. I don't know that a develop is worth it. A develop's not crazy either. You can put stockpiles on top of the deck and then silvers later. So I don't think develop would be bad. I didn't even really think the squire stuff is crazy. It's just not clearly better than having more stockpiles, in my opinion. Which is to say, I think if you have some loose buys with the stockpiles in the next shuffle, that you can think about picking up some squires. But yeah, this is just a mess. We're trying to develop just as a I'm not sure as a what. Exactly. It's probably not very good, to be honest, but let's just hope the mounted bank misses. I mean, that's the issue with the banquet potentially, of course. Oh, I forgot about Poorhouse. It's a Poorhouse stockpile combo. I just did not see the Poorhouse. The Poorhouses will be sort of... Well, it's okay, actually. Here, I get to advance them into mounted banks. This is like a triple mounted bank turn, so that's not the worst thing in the world. Or probably... Yeah, it's like gold triple mounted bank, which is okay. Let's just pretend that I was doing the Poorhouses for the express purpose of advancing them and not because I simply didn't notice they were on the board. Let's just go with that. I think that sounds like a pretty cool word of the day. I gotta stop saying that. Pretty great, you know, sort of masterful strategy that you know I can deliver on the regular. This person wants as many mountain banks as I've got, which is sort of a tough sell because I've got a lot. Well, let's see. I could get a squire. I could get more stockpiles. Stockpiles are pretty good. Pretty good. I'm gonna buy gold. I mean, golds are a lot better than silvers. I know can't afford a... The mounted banks will probably run. Can get $1 off of this Poorhouse, which doesn't seem probably worth it. Well, it's gonna be a long time before I play a mounted bank, maybe. Should I put in some squires just in case I get like real lucky? What are the odds? They can just probably buy out these stockpiles. I'm gonna get these two into the shuffle. I want to buy provinces when I can afford province also, just to be clear. That doesn't seem particularly controversial. I mean, I need to get some golds, I guess. I guess that's true. Maybe with 9, you go like gold, silver. I guess you can just try to buy 4 provinces in one shuffle and then just not have a deck. Is one option you can go with, and then hope you pile out or something. I mean, I've had worse plans. For sure. Pretty easy to make the mountebanks run. And then, you know, the curses will come down the line eventually, so maybe that is the play. Not really sure how many stockpiles I ended up with. I do have 1 gold, right? I bought a gold at some point. Gonna have some mountebank collision in the bottom here. Hopefully not too terribly much, but definitely some. Guess I have 4. I guess we each have 4 mountebanks, so there are 3 in the bottom 12. That could split pretty friendly, actually. Still, they're going for duchies, which I guess is fine. This could split quite friendly. Yeah, this is okay. This is all pretty okay. Do we just advance the develop? I don't have like 4s, which would be kind of the thing. To try and do. This is another province. I drew very luckily this shuffle. 2, 5. So they probably still have a couple stockpiles. I mean, they must. We went through my deck and played all the ones we have, so it's 6. So they still have 2 stockpiles left, though. If they don't come up in hands that buy province, then they're of kind of diminished value. This is a bit of a puzzler. Whether I go for the long or the short pile out. I guess they can't play mountebanks then unless they're getting province, which is something, right? They can't, because duchy 5 is not enough. Well, in here I have the option. I guess they can like sort of bait me, but I mean, they can like test me. Okay, well, that one shuffle, the stockpiles just spread out so beautifully for me. Can't really say I did anything to deserve that. It was just like 8s and 9s all the way across, when it would have been quite easy to hit an 11 and a 7 or whatever. I was very fortunate. Probably amongst other things. Yeah, man, I knew with the develop poorhouse synergy advance that it would just, that would be the thing for me. Okay, this is gonna be a puzzler as well. You probably go exploration hermit. I mean, you don't have to, but probably you do. You can just go straight to the inventors, I suppose. Suppose you can go exploration inventor. But I don't think that's the play. I don't think you... I don't know how Native Village Inventor looks in general. Probably looks okay. Now they're going to contest the inventors, and so it all changes a bit, but you kind of hope they have the real 5-2, but it doesn't matter at this point once they bought the 2, I suppose. Does not matter at all. I don't think I'm bothering with catapults. I don't know. It's not clear to me how... There's probably not enough time, right? It's probably just Inventor Hermit shenanigans, and then one of these other piles, presumably the native villages, gets sapped down fast enough that you just end up, you know, those piles just fly. So I don't think you probably have time to mess around with catapult or with scholar even. I mean, you could still buy a scholar at some point. That's not... Or gain a scholar at some point. That's not crazy. But certainly madmen look quite good. And I guess catapult muck with madmen a little bit, but if you have a big turn on some turn they don't draw it, then you can always buy a scholar. Get a scholar. Okay. That is true. There is a bit of a I'm gonna be missing out on labyrinth stuff depending on how hard I want to do madmen. Because like this is obviously I could make a good buy here. Now it costs me some other resources versus the points. But if we are headed, as it seems likely, to a 3 pile, then the points aren't nothing. You can... Oh, you still get the... Yeah. Madman is a full-on gain, so... Never mind. What am I even on? Some of these things are like exchanges and stuff. I mean, of course, Madman predates exchange technology, but some things have been thrown back in. I do not like the conclave particularly. Does not seem especially good to me. I'm gonna have madman. It's gonna be so cool. What's the native village sitch? I don't know that my villagers and coffers will matter too much, but they might. They might. I'm a bit worried about the inventor split going down the line here. But you know, we got some. We have a few. Ooh, interesting. This one's a little annoying. Well, I gotta think about the inventor split. Because it may be... And also whether I need to replace the hermit versus gaining the madman and all that. All that jazz. It's not super clear. It depends on where the gains are at. Certainly I can... I mean, I'll still have good threat, of course. Okay. Bot and inventor. Inventor and inventor, there's 3. 4. I have 4 inventors, okay. I didn't think the split is... I mean, it does change whether you can use a couple of your inventors to gain provinces, but I'm not sure that's what this comes down to. So, like, obviously, I mean, we could have played a madman, I suppose. Where would that have put us? It would put us right up to the end. Actually, yeah, let's play a madman, play one madman, and then we'll just, cause, we got a bunch of these guys. So we can still do the split stuff and be pretty happy about it. Is a scholar worth it? A scholar may be worth it. It's like also snowy is a possibility. Sort of the question of whether you want gains versus other stuff. No, he definitely has some appeal. Snowy's nice because it's like, you know, draw neutral gains. What's the native village mana at? 6? Okay. So they've got kind of their madmen in the native villages, but they have quite a few less gain. They don't have a hermit. Wait. There's 7. or 6 hermit. Okay, they do have a hermit still. They have a snowy, they have 4. So they're at 4. Inventors 5. So they're at 7 gains. Should be. I mean, gain and play is probably not possible for them. Not at this stage. I don't know that. Well, they have a madman, don't they? No. Yeah. They do have a madman, so gain and play is possible. When they pick up the mat, yeah, that could be a problem. There could be problems with that. It looks not bad for them. Just because the madman, they can probably play out some gainers, so they really have more than what I'm describing. They're probably not too terribly far off a win. My madman will not allow gain and play. I don't think. First one draws 4, the next one draws. You go from a 4, you go to 8, so then the next one draws 7. Yeah, so you're not there. Maybe it was better just to have the gain and play possibilities. And that turn I played the madman, I could have waited. I could certainly believe that. To have the third madman. It would be a little different if I had an hermit in this hand. I guess I still couldn't draw around to that madman. I technically have enough gains. If I could pop here, they left me a win. Because I have 7 gainers and I have 2 buys. If I had my madman in hand, I could win. Now I won't be able to. I mean, there's at least a world where I win. I guess if I had both madmen, if I drew into both madmen and Snowy wasn't bottom decked, it would be a guaranteed win. I think I have the actions to do it. They'll almost certainly just pop in over. I mean, I guess I don't really want to lower on the off chance that they aren't able to here. I'm not sure what I can gain that's kind of safe-ish. I don't know if a Snowy's especially safe. I mean, they could have their madman still in the bottom 3. Or they could have drawn it the previous turn, I guess. I didn't check their hand. Maybe they played all their cards out. I wasn't paying super good attention. Well, for all I know, the madman's on the native village map. I mean, I'm going to go for it here. I think if we draw into the madman, it's guaranteed the second madman. So we've got a little better than 50%. Well, however much better. We probably can play the native village first, and it's probably still enough action. Or play the Snowy first. It's like 4 out of 6. It's probably okay to play Snowy first. I don't know. I've got Yeah, that should be plenty. I guess if they... No, Province will beat it. Because I have 6 Inventors, I have 1 Hermit, that's 7. Now I have more buys, so... I can get up to 3 buys. How many actions does Snowy Village give? Yeah, that should be enough. I mean, if we play both the Madman, then it's not even really particularly close. Play both the Madman before the Snowy. So now it's probably like 4 out of 6 is kind of the draw situation here. Since one's a... I mean, I could still bottom deck the other Snowy Village, so in the 3 buys are not guaranteed, but... Maybe they'll play Sacred Grove and I'll get Sea's Gift, and then it'll all be good. Even Win would probably... I guess Win is more guaranteed, actually, than Sea's. Draw 5, yeah. Win is straight up guaranteed, and Sea's would fight. Which doesn't sound right. Maybe I'm wrong. Because you go to 5. You go down... Yeah, never mind. Sea's would be guaranteed, too. None of that's relevant because the Sacred Grove is sure in the discard pile. I'm going to be right back. I assume they're just winning. Maybe the Snowy, well, how many actions do they have? I didn't think of... Well, they have a bunch of native villages still. They're probably winning. That's sad. I came back and they had played actions that weren't picking up the mat. So I thought maybe they were didn't have the madman and weren't going for it, but I think we're pretty well toast. I don't know that it I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how it's gonna go down here. It may be that my snowy is what enables it. Seems possible. Well, if you can draw these up, then I don't think it was like... I didn't touch Hermit or Native Village, so... They still have 2 more Inventors. That gets... I mean, they've got 6, so they've got 3 right there. They just gain... There's 4. Yeah, this is all in there. They just had to not have the... The madman may have already been set aside, but the I guess the real question is whether a duchy gain would have stopped this, because I could have gained a duchy. Now they play their snowy, right? I mean, don't think that. I mean, duchy certainly was not enough to stop that. So they have 2 provinces still. All right. That one, I think, still could have gone either way. They did lower at a point where if I had had the madman, I did not win the game, updating the scoreboard incorrectly. They did lower it to a point where if I had had the madman, they would lose. Now, maybe they had to do that, I'm not sure. They maybe needed to add those gains to have the threat they needed. I'm not certain. But they did lower by enough for me to win. Okay, we have alms now. Can we have a lack of trashing, at least trashing things that aren't curses, coupled to some decently good cursing here, and you can try to trash your coppers, of course, but may end up a little bit sad in that direction if you don't have some stuff to replace it. Yeah, so I mean, if you had a real trasher here, or maybe real isn't the right word, but like a full trash anything card here, you'd certainly be able to build a lot more. As it is, this is just going to get quite junky. So, I mean, you can take like vassals and caravan guards and stuff. It's just, it's going to be tough. You can try to build more, but I'm not sure. I am just not sure about it. Get a double scavenger, I suppose. Guess you could, well, you can do a lot of things. As per usual. Probably just take a silver. I really don't feel great. I mean, vassal is more upside for sure, and of course more downside. I wonder if someone will get the... I mean, you can take so many curses so fast because they can build by IGG as well. They had the better split, but I did draw my... They drew their witch at the top though, so that's kind of rough. I don't know here if you go like IGG right off the bat or if you take a counterfeit. Counterfeits do seem sort of rough to make work. IMO. Like, you can try to build this stuff, but Hopefully they had drawn their... Okay, there's all I'm saying. I mean, they're getting mining villages, so they're gonna try to do something. I don't really know how likely it is to work. Of course, mining village offers some other upside here. Not drawing super well. Not drawing super bad either. I mean, if you give out a decent number of the curses, you can take a little bit of time to build, as long as they don't have like a scary points lead, and you can try to do some lowering or build a little bit. Where's the mint? JK. But I do have quite some. I mean, we could put another witch in. If we don't draw any here, this will be really bad because this is like all the mining villages. But if they have a scavenger as well, then this is very bad. Yeah, this is going to be a little... This may get a bit nasty for me. There's a world where I give 1 curse now and they give 3 the next turn, or 2 or 3. Get a counterfeit now, which does less. Did I... Did they not put witch on top? I had to put witch on top. I was confused there. I guess they were thinking about trashing them, but... Okay, so I'm definitely losing the split. So it's gonna be 6-4. I don't know if they have a silver. I would probably take a grand market if I had a silver, but... I'm a little ahead on copper trashing, so that's something. I didn't really need to do that if they were deck tracking. The IGG, that is. It wasn't like... I guess if they didn't want to top deck a witch, but... Anyway. They didn't... Yeah, they didn't have to buy the IGG there. I guess I could have masked what I had drawn to some degree, but... This one's not so clear that you do the scavenger, is it? What's in? I mean, there are some villages. Maybe you do discard it. I guess that's information. I don't want to ask for that one. You probably ought to discard it, though. I'd probably just buy gold. So the curse split, I mean, the villages are kind of spread out enough here that you can, the draw is not really spread out, but probably, wow, that's awful. I didn't know there were so few coppers down in there. I was not quite aware. I mean, you can't really build a drawing deck. Obviously, you just have too much junk. That doesn't mean you can't play some bazaars and eventually some grand markets. Potentially. You just have to be a little leery of the piles. There are fortunately quite a number of piles to spread your gains out across. Now, what may happen is just me having no deck. What may happen, they just blow up mining villages and hit province 3 times, and then, you know, what are we gonna do? Didn't get to trash, which was cool. I wonder if I should put a copper on top just to make, well, did I have a, what did I can put a witch on top. We start pilgrimaging the witches could fly out, but so be it, I think. Oh no, they're gonna be able to, well, hopefully they didn't draw anything else good. Well, okay. Well, the mining village they can't pilgrimage for. Hopefully they don't have like their gold. Because like pilgrimage for grand market scavenger isn't that incredible. Well, it's still good, of course. I can scavenge the grand market on top. It's just don't know if it's worth it. We can also just try to draw into it and then see. There are various things we can do here, but the problem with it is you discard and then you want to play the grand market and then it's like you trigger shuffle it. It has none of your good stuff in it. Not that I have an abundance of good stuff. So they're going, I guess they're going to try to empty the caravan guards. Or just, you know, provinces some fashion. It's a bit awkward. Probably just take the witch and see if you can draw anything good. Which of course you cannot. I mean, at some point, they just need to take, well, we both will need to take provinces. We're probably messing around with the action stuff a bit too much. I don't believe my last card is a village. But if it is, I'll be pleasantly surprised. Woohoo! So the question now is whether I just, I guess I don't have any caravan guards. Do I have a caravan guard? I don't think I ever bought a caravan guard. What I was gonna say is if I had a caravan guard, I could just, well, that doesn't really matter whether I have a caravan guard. It's still the same number of gains. I don't have 5 buys, so I do have 4 buys. I can at least go get some provinces now. Maybe even a couple of them. I don't really need the mining villages for anything in particular. What do you put on top here? Probably Bazaar. Could be mining village. I guess if you're willing to blow up, then mining village is probably just a little better. Of course, it can be grand market too. They have 3 mining villages left, maybe? No, I mean, I guess this is, they still have, I guess they have 4 mining villages left, so they can blow up 2. I guess you can think about pilgrimaging. I think it's probably hard to say no to double province. Buys a witch. Where are my witches? Now it's maybe worth thinking about pilgrimaging. They played a lot of their mining villages and didn't flip or anything. What are the odds that they can get? They would need province. Yeah, I don't think that's in the cards. Now they may very well get the province in this turn. Oh no, they have multiples? That's no good. I don't really know what's left. There was a counterfeit left. How greedy is it to alms for a caravan guard here? Is it too greedy? They do have a lot of caravan guard money coming down the line. This is a horrible hand. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's not good. You don't want to see the 3 curses, of course. They go province duchy. Okay. I should check that there's not some cheeky pile out. Well, we're gonna have to play we had yeah. Wishes were horses, you know the drill. We can pile out and lose. If we had drawn an additional grand market into a scavenger, we could pile out and win. No, we'd still not. That's still not winning. I of course blew up my mining villages, so my my deck's a lot worse. We're just gonna limp. It's like not even clear. Like we may just end up people limping through and getting provinces is somewhat possible. Not super easy for the decks to do it, but I could have gone, I guess, like Duchy Witch. That would have been pretty greedy, though. Assume they have 8, which is unfortunate, but not surprising. Oh, they got 8. That's one way to do it. Well, we better take the estate. Yes. They have one mining village, I think. This is a good hand. I think the rest of the deck is pretty much garbage, but in their next turn will have quite a bit of money coming down. That's unfortunate. I can't take the tie either. I mean, I get 10 and get a win, I guess. Oh, rats. They're gonna have 8. Well, I mean, they may not have 8, but the counterfeit is gone. If I had drawn the scavenger and I could, well, there's more bazaars, I think, too. Yeah. There was a world. Probably not a very likely world. Yeah, and they got a fresh man. That's unfortunate. I think the scavenger's in here. Yeah, and now this is just nothing. There was one, yeah, it was pretty. I think they'll probably have it. Be interesting if they don't pop right away, then they may just have 5, which 5 is pretty brutal for me as well. Actually, this is not the hand. I need the bazaars with the witches, of course. They're not just clicking pop, so they don't have it. It's not guaranteed in hand. Which is good. It's hard to imagine you wouldn't pop it pretty quick, though, if you had a witch still. They didn't get there, so they blew a little bit more resources. I guess you put Bazaar on top. It's not super clear to me. do need to alms for the estate so that if they duchy, you can province still, I guess. Well, okay. Okay, deck. The thing that the draw for them is like counterfeit IgG is like the really good draw for them. I mean, I guess we can count and see if double estate still holds anything or if we need to get the duchy. So we do double estate, we go to 29. Tie's no good. I would still need $10. That's not happening. It's not technically impossible, but it would require stacking the deck. They don't have any caravan guards down. They don't have their counterfeits. So it's like, what are the odds of me, if I double estate, me getting 10 the next turn if they duchy versus, I mean, I guess if they miss the duchy, then I still have the province. And they'll probably get at least a state. Right, so if they miss duchy then I can still, province will still be an option. And double duchy isn't like winning anyway. I don't think they're triple estating, so maybe. My deck, of course, is just complete garbage now. So I would be shocked if we get out. They'll probably be able to just run down the estates over the course of the next couple turns. They can put a grand market on top. Grand market on top by estate. Should be pretty safe. And it doesn't really open them up to anything new. It's still just whether I hit 8. It's not like double estate duchy, you know, that's not none of it is worse than just the province. So all right, GG. I guess you can test them, make sure they actually put the grand market on top. But I'm sure they did. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right, we're back to even. It's been quite a match. Kind of nasty boards for a couple of them. Not sure. Probably. So this should be bit tougher. There's a lack of villages. So, but you can trash down and have some chariot races, I suppose. It's not super clear to me what all you want to do here. There's not. The action stuff is kind of cruddy. This is a bit unfortunate. Well, there's some draw where you come out with getting an additional token. Of course. I don't know what you play as your terminal. Like, Enchantress isn't that exciting, but it's fine. I mean, it may be that, like, Merchant Guild is the most exciting thing you can play as a terminal for a bit. Not that that's especially exciting either. I probably would have opened maybe Spice Develop. Of course, they get basically the perfect draw, so that's a bit rough. This can be either second junk dealer, like Spice Merchant. They're gonna play the Enchantress too. Maybe we'll draw the develop. Nope. So probably I'm lost. I guess I could have tried some cavalry stuff at some point. Pretty bad, pretty bad. I would just go like gold Chariot race probably. Not super big on the double Chariot race there. I mean, it's not crazy. There's so many coffers. I still think a gold is probably better for them than double Chariot race. Or, I mean, I would probably have gotten or looked at getting something else. What is left? Can put gold cavalry on top. I mean, it's a bunch of there's probably a copper, but it's kind of bad if we don't find it. Not end of the world bad. I don't know that there's a buy you make here. This was bad. It was not good. They got a lot of points this turn. Well, maybe a lot's not the word. They got some points. They're gonna be able to province so much better than me. Unfortunately. This is a kind of a horrible draw. I guess there weren't really much other options for the draw. Do they have 2 coppers? This last card's a Chariot race? So many coffers. Big problem. Three on top. Big-ish problem. Do they still have their Enchantress? They do still have. Getting lucky so far. All good things must come to an end. You're going with the Enchantress, interesting. Yeah, problem's a problem. Well, there are certainly a number of options here for the pig choice. We're probably just trashing. Okay. It's like there's an estate left. There's some gold stuff left. I think there's a gold left. About a gold. Okay. Well, that was something. Someone's gonna top deck a province and it'll just be like, that'll be the turn, you know? They just, oh, these just don't work this time. Also, SSLY is probably gonna be in a position to double province at some point. Well, I mean, not probably. They absolutely will. Eventually. Like right now. But they can kind of hold off. There's something to be said for just doing it for chariot race purposes. Not at all a crazy thing to consider. Pretty good reveals for me is one of these is going to be the gold. So pretty good. I am getting a little luckier on the scoring so far. I was going to say maybe there's a world where I put myself in a position to threaten double, but I think that's so far off. I mean, like I could develop into merchant guild, but it seems hard. Probably better chance is just to keep on these, and if we hit a man, that sucks. That sucks so bad. That's rough. That's rough. Okay. I've had good luck on my chariot races, so that was not like weird, but it still sucks, of course. And I'm holding gold province, which is really quite bad. Yeah, this is the issue. They play the Enchantress this turn, then the next turn, and this will kill anything. Well, okay. Not a total bust. They have 9. They just play the. What do we have? I mean, Province Duchy is beatable, I think. If their chariot races, excuse me, their chariot races are complete washes, and they don't. They have 2 silvers and a gold. Yeah. How much do they draw? They have 6 and they have 5 chariot races. And they can play a junk dealer trashing province or whatever. So, or even if they bottom deck treasure, they can probably buy a cavalry. They'll get 2 coffers back because they'll get a pageant coffer as well. I mean, I can do I can do Duchy and just see how the chariot races go for the next couple turns. But it's not gonna change it, unfortunately. I guess I could double Duchy. I don't know that I'll get through without adding some draw. I mean, I'm a little overdrawn at the moment. But losing the develop feels real bad. So maybe I don't do that. I'm not sure it's that bad, but it feels really bad. Again, this is a terrible, terrible opening hand. I guess I could have played for them not drawing Merchant Guild. No, because they don't have that many stop cards. They must be stuck on Junk Dealer, but they can still go through. They can trash a silver or whatever. I guess I guess they could be totally stopped. That's pretty unlikely, but in that case, they would have the Merchant Guild because it would be 4 chariot races, Junk Dealer on bottom. So they could still double province and probably be just fine. Well, certainly with my hand be just fine. I'm not gonna. I probably am totally stopped immediately. And it's not like I'm gonna get, well, even if all the chariot races hit, it wouldn't be sufficient. 9 plus 15 would still, well, I guess technically there's a way to stack the deck and win it, because you could get province, duchy, and 5 points. So you could get well, that's just 14 points. So no. I mean, it would tie, which I guess I would take at this point. Maybe I'm confused about, well, they have a junk dealer, so it's like 4 chariot races, 1 silver on the bottom, which is actually really, really good starting hand, because it means all the expensive stuff is out of the shuffle. They're holding like 2 provinces, 2 provinces junk dealer, or 3, not 3. Yeah, 3 provinces junk dealer. So it's like probably totally fine. I can technically double province though. Not from this hand, but I can technically double province. I mean, it's still possible from this hand. Because I can develop junk dealer into gold cavalry and go from there. But there basically has to be a horse. Like, I have to have a horse. This is not good enough, of course. A horse, of course. So we lose. There was a hand though, because if I find any of the horses, we get through, we develop the junk dealer, we get cav, gold, that gives us the 2 buys, we'd have 9. We would still need some wins. We would have still needed some chariot race wins, but this will just be, I mean, they still have to get to the merchant guild, but assuming they do. Again, of course, by province regardless, and then I need all the hits, and then the 4, it's just a 14 points, so it's not it would be enough for a tie again. There are 100% hits, but I don't think that's even really possible. Maybe with an enchantress play it is. I don't know that they're like, I had the golds and the provinces and stuff in the previous hand. So the first one, they don't have anything cheap. They don't have a 2. Their lowest is a 3. So certainly the horse is a failure. So I would need an enchantress play to be able to tie. And in fact, they can know that. They don't have to. I guess that's not. I guess potentially. No. I need the junk dealer. I don't know. I think they can know that. All right. Well, this is super over. They must have merchant guild or can get to it, or junk dealer, and I can't flip. All right. That was sad, but I don't have any way to like gain. Well, even that would just be 12, so. There was some world where I was not like out of it at the end. Which I kind of expected to off the first shuffles or so. Maybe my opening was really bad. I didn't hate it at the time. I do think they should have taken golds over Chariot race at least once or twice and just hit the provinces sooner. And then my Chariot races will never win. They don't really need to muck with that particularly. I wouldn't say. Five two would be quite good because sellers will help defend against some of the attacking stuff you want to do here. And then Recruiter, obviously, great opening here. You'd probably still hit 5 on your reshuffle or have a good shot at it. This is like bridge troll stuff. Okay, I spoke it into existence. That was a mistake. I did not speak. Well, I may have collided them. I guess I could pursue. Oh no, that won't work. I always think pursue is not what it is, but in fact, pursue is what it is. I mean, it makes sense, the name, with the name, of course. But this is like an easy settlers, I think. I mean, you can pursue recruiter. Maybe it is easy pursue recruiter, actually. I could be wrong. That's what they're going for. They do find the recruiter. So I do get mercenary, which isn't, I mean, I get everything I want here. They can buy, I know you buy, I guess, the second recruiter. I mean, they may not have 5. Hopefully they don't have 5. They toss 3 coppers, so I guess that's pretty unlikely. Maybe even impossible. Well, they were always going to toss coppers. That was what was in there from the $5 opening, of course. So I would think you just buy Plaza if you have 4. I guess if you only have 3, you have some sort of choice, though. They did have 5. What is this? That's not fair. Downright unfair. I smoked their hand. I needed to draw the recruiter. Unfortunately, I did not. I probably, well, it's still probably worth it to trash the estate. Bridge Troll is kind of where you're headed, but of course that's not super friendly with the recruiter. You can do some catacomb. I mean, as long as at the start you only have a couple, like 1 Bridge Troll in place, not so bad. Good draw for me. Can pursue recruiter. And get Plaza. Which seems pretty good, though of course it's stacking up against a 5. And I may end up tossing both the estates, which would be a bit sad. Well, we can lose the cut purse also. Well, just the way it goes. Well, we drew 1. I never bought a silver as of yet, so I guess settlers are fairly likely to get revealed, and then the village issue becomes a bit moot unless you have, as long as you have some villagers. You don't have to use the recruiters for your village here. They probably need to buy a silver, I would think. They're just going at it this way. I mean, if they have the settlers, then this won't hurt. I don't know if they have the settlers. Okay, so is it time for a bridge troll? Probably reasonable. They have to play the other recruiter before they even get around, then the other sellers won't draw copper. I mean, it'll pick up a copper, but it won't draw really a copper. So they are getting a silver now. It's a bit sad. This is not really quite the draw you want. This turn could have gone super, super good for me. So now the recruiter won't rent. We really need, it would have made a huge difference to get the recruiter here. And obviously just like another dollar, then we could have done some other stuff. I'm not sure if this will pan out. We do have the, I guess we can kill the cut purse. The question is the settlers worth it? Or spending a coffer on? I mean, it might be. They're not awful. I mean, far from it, truly. Now, on the other hand, we would like to buy some more expensive stuff than the settlers, so I think I'm going to hold off on it. They don't have anything here. Buys another silver. We at least get to cantrip the recruiter here, which is a pretty big deal. Maybe it's cut purse that we hit. Oh, we still get some villagers out of it. We're not going to play it this turn. So we can't wave the frog this. Okay. That's pretty good. There's probably a point where I could have behaved a little differently with stuff, but now we can do Plaza Seller stuff, even with the 1 copper. This is a really, really great opening hand. Probably mercenary doesn't get played anymore, so we'll just recruit it later. The bridge troll attack is doing work. Everything's doing work. It's all beautiful. We do need to save up for some stuff. We could take a silver. What do you think about the silver? How does the silver compare to just Plaza Nothing? I guess there's double Fool's Gold as well. That should probably be paired with Rabble or Catacombs. Maybe the Fool's Gold should have came out last time. This is a really great draw. I almost forgot Fool's Gold. That's kind of the way to do the bridge troll stuff here. You get them for free, and that bootstraps the money by a huge amount. They can buy a bridge troll now. Okay. Huge. What are we doing? Still even had actions left. This was maybe slightly greedy, but I don't know that we need it. Right, if we play the other bridge troll, you don't really need the Fool's Gold for money. Probably. Everything's cheap enough already. But now all payload we don't want to muck with. I don't want to mess with anything too crazy. No more. I don't want to make pile outs possible, but I guess you can pursue. Maybe you should pursue those. Spend a coffer to pursue them. I don't know if that's worth it or not. We'll take the rest of the bridge trolls, so they'll go 7. They're not gonna have gain threat. One villager should be good. I mean, we can pursue stuff as well, so that's not really too scary. They'll have 4 buys now, so that's all we have to play around. We can even play it pretty safe. Maybe better. Would have been. I could have played it a little more carefully. You would rather get the coffer from Plaza and just Way of the Frog, a bustling village, but this is totally fine. When you come I decided to have 4 gains, so as long as nothing's at 4, then we're fine. There really should probably be another catacomb. That's fine. We're going to game 7. right. Hope everybody's ready. Oh boy, they're first. We got Highway Market for them. We'll probably know in not too long of a time who's winning it. Guess you go Amulet Research, you could go, I don't know, you could go double Amulet. Who draws their orange? Who's going to draw their orange card soon? It's a mystery. It was a good match either way. Lots of fun. Whoops. Bump the desk. 5-2 would actually not be super good here. Probably a little worse. I mean, it's workable, but it's not incredibly good. So you can only open with one of the trashers. You obviously can't open mint. So I hope they have the 5-2. On 5-2, you probably just bite the bullet and Amulet. I mean, like, Highway and Market not doing a lot for you on the opening. They go silver. Interesting. There are some like really incredibly good draws you can get off of the that are possible to get off of the double duration opening. They hit the research. Does mint here work? I'm trying to think. You still have 3 left. You can gain a silver on your next one. Mint probably still works here. There are some incredibly, I mean, we didn't draw into them, but there's some incredibly good mint trashes with silver gains you can get off like playing a research here. Potentially, like you can get a 6 or 7. If you stack, you can get a huge mint trash while simultaneously putting 2 silvers into your deck. Removing an estate, of course, and then you're just kind of fly. Here's harder, quite a bit harder. To me, it feels hard anyway. Obviously, the big trash is pretty nice. You do have to replace some stuff to get to 5. You have to gain a silver on your next hand. Can also just try to thin. just do 2 trashes and try to get to that thinning that way. Gives you a little more. You may not have to gain the silvers back that way so much. I think a bigger mint would be pretty clear, but this is tough. Feels tough to me. Do the research here, which is a big deal. They probably just take a highway. Get a forum, okay. Actually. Okay, that's pretty sad. It's sort of really sad, but we can still live with it. We trash now. What do we get next turn? Is it a guaranteed 5? I mean, if it's a guaranteed 5, then we can just do it. Who cares? We buy silver. They're gonna buy a highway now, I think. I don't know if they can safely mint. We did not get to their amulet, which sucks. They probably will just do a big mint at some point. Well, they have the 2 amulets now, so. This is probably rough. They have the silver, yeah. Probably just get another highway. I mean, you could try market and see if you get the 2 highways. Guess they're probably pretty similar, the ordering. If there's any chance of getting 8, then makes some sense to. No. Oh, this is not good enough. This sucks. This sucks. We needed a highway. It would have been much better, even though the research draws less. It would be much, much better. Shoot. And they're just gonna mark it here. They're trashing. Yeah, this is not gonna. They're gonna double. Yeah, this is over. We needed not to find some. I mean, basically, some of this stuff needed to be swapped for highway or. They're gonna mark it now. I would think. I would mark it. But I'm not hitting 5, so I'm pretty well dead. I can trash out. no good. We'll try to find a path, but it's not gonna pan out. We have $6, then we can. I'm trying to think if there's a silver gaining thing that gets us to well, it doesn't matter for the next hand. Yeah, it just doesn't. But we get the market and then maybe they didn't find form, or it's infuriating when they stop there. Like, maybe there was a play order choice, I don't know, but it makes you hopeful. It's not they're not doing anything wrong. It's just one of those things where they stop to play the card and then you get hope in your heart, only for it to be dashed away. Maybe there was some choice. I mean, obviously I could have gone with the mint early. That would have been a very different path from what I ended up doing. I didn't have to. Second amulet obviously didn't pan out like at all. So they're getting 3. Yeah, this is totally lost. Oh well, it was still a good match. Bit sad to go out this round, but I just need to have 6 on the next turn. So that's already one of it, and then I guess you can gain a silver or something. Just gonna be the turn behind. I haven't actually counted out the gains to say exactly how that goes. Like here, you think maybe they don't have the forum or another highway or whatever, but they probably have both, and they're just like seeing if there's some kind of play order thing they need to take into account for, and then they still get 3 or still get 4. I guess just 3. Still get 3 components. Maybe they're stopped, but okay, only 2 components. That's something. I think I needed to get a silver to make this work correctly. Then we can go like this, I think works. Not gonna get it done though. They can actually wipe out the highways here, and I only have whatever I have, not very many. The 7-3 highway split is sure gonna be... I mean, I can hit the markets hard in return, I guess, but they'll still have the forum pile out the next turn, I suppose. And I won't get enough. I won't get enough to have the forum threat, so I won't even be able to do that. I think, yeah, you just take them. They have 4 buys, so like I can't lower. And I can lower, if I buy a province, I can lower the markets 1. The forums they buy now are fine. It doesn't change my ability to pile out. So they can take... Well, they can take a market also, right? Yeah, so I can't even buy a market. I guess I don't have enough money to do... That would be $22. No, I don't. I also only have 2 markets, right? So it is not a thing that can happen. And they pile out next turn. Oh well. Not probably the board I would choose to end it on, but... Do they even have enough stop cards that this is like me lowering does anything? They've got 1, 2, 3, technically a research, 4. I think they only have 4 stop cards. I don't believe there's another silver, no. If they had 5 stop cards, I would just lower those markets, and then I would still need $1 million to buy the forums out, of course, but... What do they have? They have 4... One of those, there's 6, 5. They have 5 buys. So they can't actually win yet. If I had enough to do market duchy, well, maybe they'll let me change the research trash. I don't think it helps me at all. They can still buy 6 provinces. This is a bit of a cheesy undo, but I don't think it'll affect the outcome of the game. I may be miscounted, and maybe they just 5. Oh, they can still just win. They have... How many markets do they have? Oh yeah, they can still just win. This doesn't... This does not make it not a win. That was miscounting on my part. If I don't touch the markets, then I was thinking like duchy, like, oh, they can't double province, which of course is complete nonsense. Is there any way it can be stopped? I mean, I don't... I don't understand why you can't just click. Are they counting? You don't need money. You don't need a silver. You can just click plus $1. You don't have to empty the provinces. I mean, you would have... I mean, you can't empty them, but you would certainly have $5 at the end of your turn anyway, so you don't really need a silver. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe they forgot about the forums. I don't... Maybe they went to the bathroom, though they just did the undo, so... I don't know. I didn't trash the research, so I can't even technically draw deck either. And it's not like I can pile out. Maybe they disconnected. It kind of feels like a disconnection. Otherwise, what's the... I mean, I'm not wrong about the stop cards, am I? Do they don't have more silvers. I had the 3 silvers. I only have 1 silver, 1 copper. I mean, there can't be... I don't know what this was about. It's very confusing to me. I mean, you know, it's game 7. There can be some things to check, I guess. I mean, not actually. If you, I guess maybe if you don't see the... It's confusing to me in any case. Because you sure do just have a win. Not an especially tricky win. And also the next turn I can't magically do anything. I mean, it's been in hand since... Well, since the last market was played. I would just resign. I mean, they have to know about it. I guess you could forget the forums, but it seems hard. They were already doing that in some last turn. They just really want to get all the duchies and dukes and win that way. They want to score 100 points. This sincerely feels like they don't see the forum thing, which means they're like figuring, oh, if I do 5 provinces, is that safe? Which, you know, yeah, it is. It is also a safe play. Though it, I guess, technically opens you up to some losing stuff. Feels real weird. Feels like I mean, okay, people miss stuff. It just happens. I mean, this happened to me one time. I mean, I missed a pile out that was like this against N.A. Smith, and I still won the game. And that must have been... I missed the pile out like 2 times before I finally saw it. So that, I'm sure that was... I've done this to other people. Sure, more than that occasion as well. Well, this is kind of funny though. If it were closer, man, if it were closer, I'd be losing my mind. Now I'm only half losing my mind. If it were closer, I'd be losing my mind with thinking I might win. Maybe they'll buy all the markets and just 4 of the forums. I think I can get 4 of the forums, though even that is like kind of dubious. Oh, better if they take like 5 of the forums. I am dying. They're killing me. Gosh. I really wish I hadn't bought that duchy. Or that it was like that I had bought 2 duchies, maybe. Just what? Now I have to like count stuff, but it still doesn't. I would need. I have 4 regular buys, I guess. I don't even have 4 regular buys. I have, yeah, okay. I have 4 regular buys. But I would need $16 to empty stuff. And how much did I have last time? This cost 5. These cost 2. I had $9. So I simply need $7 more. I added 1. I can't draw the silvers though. Cannot draw the silvers. What if the split had been 6-4 and we got to this point? Man, that would have been a world. Now, is there like a scoring thing that they're not going to dud? They didn't add stop cards. In fact, I think they even removed a stop card. So they're not. Oh, wait, that was a different turn. Yeah, but they removed a stop card. They cannot fail to draw. This time they can empty the provinces. So just what is happening? We didn't find one of the highways. Not surprising. There's silvers and stuff. I mean, I'm a free person. I could have exited this train at any point in time. It's just hard to exit given what's going down. One, two, three, four. I'd have 8. Can go like duchy, duke, I guess. Fine. I can go province, duchy. That still loses to all the provinces. Everything still loses all the provinces. I can't score sufficient. So like, what are we doing? What are we even doing out here? What did I even bottom deck? A highway, a province, and a silver? Something like that. I don't know. Like, they're not going to miss the finish for this next turn because it's empty provinces that cost $1. I can't outscore it. So it doesn't have a lot of Meaning. I don't even like this isn't out. Like what am I doing? What am I doing, people? What kind of life choices am I making here? Like it's not now. They literally cannot dud. They do not have 5 stop cards in deck. They're still holding additional forums. Now the question is it as a point of etiquette, do I say about the forums? How enthusiastic do I have to be in my I won't do it. All right, thanks everyone watching. Thanks TOs for all the work you did to make this possible. It's always fun every year. Good luck to everyone still playing, and I look forward to watching it, and I will catch y'all later.